This here is Bertrand Russell. He was born in the land of tea and biscuits, known as England, on May 18, 1872, to aristocrats Viscount and Lady Amberley. Both parents died before he was 4 years old, long before he developed a self-awareness and understanding of what grief and vengeance was, so he couldn't have become the 19th century Batman, which would have been pretty awesome, leaving Russell to be raised by his grandmother, Lady Frances Anna Maria Elliot. She raised him at Pembroke Lodge, where he was privately educated at home. Even though his autobiography said he enjoyed his childhood, he admitted intellectual and emotional isolation grew increasingly painful. If he grew up in the 21st century, I don't think he'd find that a problem. In 1890, he had already spent 2 years boarding at an army cramer preparing for Cambridge University's scholarship exams. Russell was awarded a scholarship to Trinity College, where he studied, spoiler alert, mathematics. Here, he met Alfred North Whitehead. A lot of similarities to Batman if you ask me. Whitehead and Russell were co-authors of Principia Mathematica. During his Cambridge days, Russell studied philosophy with a man named George Edward Moore, and later went on to contribute commentary on a wide range of philosophical and socio-political issues. Russell was eventually awarded a research fellowship at Trinity with no duties attached, which means he was allowed to marry, travel, and write prolifically. Further to the collegial relationships he had while studying at Cambridge, Sedgwick, Ward, and Stout, and through his mentorship with Ludwig Wittgenstein, Russell was also considerably influenced by an encounter with Italian logician Giuseppe Peano, who he met in Paris in 1900. Peano's contributions to the foundations of formal logic and set theory inspired Russell to begin his work attempting to demonstrate that maths is entirely reducible to formal logic. Russell published The Principles of Mathematics in 1903, where he declared these intentions, and also detailed a problem known now as Russell's paradox. To dumb it down, Russell's paradox tells us that if we try to define a set, R, as a set of all sets which aren't members of themselves, then if R is in R cannot be in R. Clearly this is a contradiction, writes Russell. In his 3-volume Principia Mathematica, co-authored by Alfred Whitehead and named for Isaac Newton, the two men set out to show that all pure mathematics follows from purely logical premises and uses concepts definable in logical terms. The idea of reducing mathematics to formal logic was introduced by Gottfried Leibniz in the 17th century. This was improved over the next 200 years by a handful of mathematicians. Principia Mathematica was written to defend logicism. In 1901, Russell faced a paradox, now called Russell's paradox, which did not follow formal logic. Russell and Whitehead avoided this paradox while writing Principia Mathematica by using the mechanism, a theory of types. This, however, was considered satisfactory and was also overcome by the axiom of reducibility. The axiom of reducibility and the axiom of infinity couldn't be reduced to formal logic by Russell and Whitehead. This epic fail to defend logicism led to significant negative reception by mathematicians at the time. Even so, Principia Mathematica set a basis for modern logical mathematics through new notations more effective than that of previous mathematicians, creating an effective system for deduction to logic and linking logicism with philosophy. This allowed for the development of metaphysics and epistemology, as well as the creation of metalogic. Its introduction to philosophical rich notations led to the discovery of other meta-theoretical results.